Teachers across Oklahoma spent this week planning for a mass walkout on Monday. Last night, the threat of that walkout led the Oklahoma Senate to pass a bill that would give teachers their first raise in a decade and increase funding to the state's cash-strapped schools. Governor Mary Fallin signed that bill this afternoon. But the teachers say their demands haven't been met, and for now, the strike is still on.
We're coming up on something that I think none of us ever anticipated that we would be doing. And I've never been involved in a more committed fight than what we are about, because we really are about our kids and the future of Oklahoma.
I want my child and everybody else's child to get a quality education, and I don't want to have to think about moving back to Texas if this doesn't work.
I feel like a dog begging for scraps every single year, and I think it's hard because I just feel like in my head, I cannot keep doing this year after year.
As the Senate deliberated, a small group of community members in Bartlesville met at the public library to plan for what life might look like during the walkout.
Oak Park is now going to be a site should school close. We're ready. Our food trucks arrive today. One way or the other, we're feeding kids.
The Boys and Girls Club seems to be business as usual. They're used to these large numbers from summer and spring break and things, and they're like, we're just gonna do what we did for spring break a couple weeks ago. So
You actually covered the next 3 items on the agenda.
But it's really about giving the teachers a place to go. We're there.
hold on.
The bill just passed in the Senate. Yes. So, but I don't know whether to cheer or not because it passed with an option to amend, which my group chat of 35 people who are obsessed with this like me were trying to figure out what the heck that means. But it passed as is. And then the teacher pay raise bill did pass by a lot more.
The news surprised Heather Boyle, a first grade teacher in Bartlesville and president of her local teachers union.
The Senate just passed the revenue bill and the teacher raises right now, and it seems like the governor is going to sign it. Like, do you consider this a victory? Are you happy right now?
I have very mixed feelings right now. It is historic. It's a great step in the right direction, but it is not enough.
These have been efforts that you've been trying to do for like almost 10 years. What do you think is different right now?
Well, we have motivated teachers to really fight, to get on board. They feel supported and they feel heard. And so we're hoping that combined with the overwhelming community support that we have will be enough.
These walkouts were inspired in large part by the West Virginia teachers' strikes, but Oklahoma's situation is a bit more dire. In 2016, Oklahoma ranked 40th in average salary per citizen, but it ranked dead last in teachers' pay. State funding for schools has decreased over 25% in the last decade, and the funding crisis has become so acute that to cut costs last year, 20% of Oklahoma schools moved to a 4-day school week, a de facto furlough that has no end in sight. Earl Sears is the Republican state House representative from Bartlesville. He served 12 years in the Capitol, during which he's seen several attempts to increase school funding die before the legislature. Have you tried in the past to try and raise teacher salaries, like you specifically?
Oh, absolutely.
Have you brought in bills? What is the main point of resistance? Like, why has it been so difficult?
Our Republican caucus has been consistent, absolutely consistent on developing and implementing a pay raise. And where the criticism needs to come at us, we've just never come up with the money and put the money in there to do it.
The only difference between what happened 2 years, 4 years ago, and when you tried to raise teacher salaries, and now, is that the teachers threatened to walk out. I mean, it seems like a pretty stunning sort of endorsement of the power of a threatened walkout.
I think that's a fair statement. 4 years ago, there was not the threat of the walkout. There was disappointment. No, I won't tell you it's the overriding factor, but the threat of a teacher walkout, but there's no question that took it to another level. There's none.
Actual change for Oklahoma schools started late Monday night when the House passed a bill that would increase taxes on cigarettes, gasoline, and energy production, a key source of revenue for the state. That tax was the main point of contention since 2014, when the legislature finalized a tax break that gave Oklahoma the lowest overall tax rate of any major energy-producing state. All in, the House bill raised the average teacher's pay by $6,000 and gave smaller raises to support staff, but falls well short of the $200 million in school funding the teachers are asking for. OEA, which is the most vocal of the teachers union, is asking for a $10,000 across-the-board raise, $5,000 for support staff, around $200 million for additional school funding. The plan that the House put out gets to about half of that. Do you feel like the demands that OEA is putting out there are unreasonable or almost impossible?
Yes, I do believe they're unreasonable, and I will say to you, I think they are impossible, but I can't be critical of them. On the same token, they represent the teachers, so they have come up with a very aggressive plan, brutally honest. There's only so many taxes that this conservative House of Representatives will pass and vote upon, and I think we pretty well hit that limit on Monday night.
The teachers' unions, however, want more, and they think they can force the legislature to give it to them.
Right now, the public wants to help rescue the teachers, and the legislatures are viewed as the persecutors.
Would anyone like my update on the Alicia Priest? Yes.
Oh, yes.
Our members don't support this as written. We will walk on Monday.
Battle is joined. We shall see what happens.